Whoa. Am I sharing a screen? No. All right. Can you see me? Not can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me while I figure out what is going on. There we go. Yay, figured it out. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Old technology. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. If you happen to catch this live, let me know you are catching me live. Drop a hey MJ in the comments. If you happen to catch this on the replay, that's fine. That's cool. Give me a thumbs up if you are catching this on the replay. So, like, share, comment, let everybody know that we are live. We are live. I'm going to share this out, but let me know, how was your day so far? I know it is late in the day. How's everyone doing? Hope your day was well. Let me find my live so that I can share it. Okay. I'm going to share this to one more place, and then I'm going to go on ahead and get started. I'm going to go on ahead and get started. I don't want to hold everybody up too long, but I want to get this information out there because it is important, especially for cruisers. Okay? It is important. Okay? It is important. There we go. All right. So, my apologies for the holdups. There's been quite a few things going on here today. I'm trying to get something done for tomorrow. It's a lot going on right now, but it's okay. So, welcome to Talk About It Thursday, where we talk about all things travel over here. Okay? Let's talk about it. Princess Cruises. Now, Princess is not one that's usually in the media, in the spotlight for anything. So this is important. Okay? This is important. Now, Princess Cruises, and I don't know how soon this will be, but very, very soon, and I would say probably before the end of the year, if not in the beginning of 2027, Princess Cruises will now require you to have your passport if you are traveling out of the great city of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay. Let me make sure I'm giving you that information correctly. Yep. That's what I thought. Princess Cruises requires passports for cruises from San Juan, Puerto Rico. So if you are cruising out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, you are now going to be required to have your passport. Okay. It's no longer an option. It is a requirement. Now, this is just Princess Cruises. Okay. At the moment, that can very well change with other people. But specifically with Princess Cruises, because they are expanding their Southern Caribbean cruise program, the cruise line is now going to open up, okay, allowing people to get on and off the ship from the island of Barbados. Okay. So there are three types of cruises that you should know about. Three. There's closed loop cruises that start and end at the same U.S. cruise port. Okay. That does not require a passport. There is repositioning cruises where you're moving the ship from one home port to another home port, and that home port could be anywhere in the world. That requires a passport. And then you have open jaw cruises. Now, open jaw cruises is what Princess is now. Okay. At least cruising out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Princess itineraries from San Juan, Puerto Rico is now going to be considered an open jaw cruise. Okay. An open jaw cruise is where you are able to get on, you are embarking in one port, and you are disembarking in another port. Okay. So you have closed loop, you have repositioning, and you have open jaw. Okay. That is why Princess Cruises is now going to be requiring people that are leaving out of San Juan to have their passport. And you will follow the same rules as if you were doing land travel. Your passport must be good for 6 months after you get off the ship. Okay? 6 months after you get off the ship, your passport must still be good. Now, again, because people will have the option to end their cruise in the island of Barbados, they are no longer going to be considered a closed loop cruise. They are going to be considered an open jaw cruise. That is why you will need a passport to cruise out of San Juan, Puerto Rico from Princess Cruise Lines. Okay? And that is according to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. That is not a travel with MJ thing. That is the government. Okay? That is the government. So, if you plan on taking a Southern Caribbean cruise with Princess from San Juan, Puerto Rico, please be sure that you are working with somebody, whether you are doing this by yourself or you are working with a travel advisor. Please be sure to know that you will need your passport or you will not get on that ship. Okay? You will not get on that ship. And if you miss your sailing for whatever reason, you don't have the proper travel documents, you missed the time, you're not getting a refund. Okay? You are not getting a refund. Now, a lot of people are already up in arms because you really don't want to get a passport. But as your travel advisor, if you are following me, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, I'm going to always, and I mean always, recommend that you cruise with your passport in case something happens. Okay, you cannot fly with your ID and your birth certificate. You will need your passport book. Okay, it is important that you get your passport, if for no other reason, to be able to fly. Okay. Now, with cruisers, they feel some sort of way because, well, I just want to get on the ship and go. Well, passports have always been recommended since I don't know when. But now, specifically with Princess Cruises, you're going to be required. Okay? You're going to be required. Here are some situations where you will need your passport on a closed loop cruise. And I'm talking about this passport specifically because I have a resource for you. Okay. Number one, missing your cruise departure at its U.S. port and needing to fly outside the U.S. to meet the ship. Okay. Number two, missing the ship in a foreign port and needing to fly back to the U.S. or meet the ship in the next port on the itinerary. Let's say, for example, you miss your ship in Port Canaveral. Okay, I'm going to use Port Canaveral because right now that's the leading one. You missed the ship in Port Canaveral and the ship is heading towards Nassau. Without your passport, you're not going to be able to fly from Port Canaveral, which is Orlando, to Nassau to get the ship. Okay, you are going to be stuck and out of money. So make sure that you consider getting your passport. The next reason why you would need a you should consider getting a passport on a closed loop cruise is having an emergency that requires you to end your cruise early and leave from a foreign port. Let's go back to the Port Canaveral in Nassau. If you are in Nassau and something happens, okay, you will need your passport to get back to the U.S. Okay. Number four, and here's a good one and a a pretty common one that a lot of people miss. A change in port of calls. The travel requirements requires all passengers to have a valid passport to get offshore. Okay, let me read that. A change in a port of call's travel requirements to require all passengers to have a valid passport to go ashore. What does that mean? That means while yes, your cruise is able to go into, and I'm going to use Martinique here for a moment. Yes, your cruise is able to get into Martinique, but in order for you, the passenger, to be able to get off the ship, you would need your passport. Okay. So there are quite a few reasons why you would need your passport. Okay. You can't fly. You can't do anything besides get on the cruise with just your birth certificate and an ID. Okay. So I'm saying all of that to say what? Okay. This QR code that I just put up to the left of my screen here, right here to the top left hand side. There you go, right there. That's going to scan you to my Passport Savings Challenge. Now, what is the Passport Savings Challenge? The Passport Savings Challenge is a 10-week challenge where you are saving $20 a week until you have successfully secured the funds to apply for either your initial or your renewal passport. Okay. Initial or renewal. You can use this challenge for either one. I have helped people with initial and I have helped a person with their renewal passport. Now, this challenge is completely complimentary for you to join. The only thing that I ask is that you be accountable to yourself. Okay. You are being accountable to yourself. If you can save $20 a week for 10 weeks, you can get your passport book. Okay. $20 a week, 10 weeks. That's all that I'm asking of. Okay. In this challenge, you will receive a total of 13 emails. Okay. 13 emails. As you sign up, you'll get your thank you email saying, hey, thank you for signing up for the challenge. I'll make sure that you grab your official Passport Savings Challenge template. Then the next email is going to ask you how you're going to save for your Passport Savings Challenge. And then from there, it's going to be one email a week, Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So noon Eastern, 11 Central, 10 Mountain Time, 9 Pacific Time. Okay. So one email a week. In that email, that one email per week, I'm going to give you your challenge. Save your $20 for this week. Okay. I'm also going to give you an additional challenge because we do have our Passport Savings community where people like you would be able to go in and motivate and help others who are trying to secure their passport. Okay. There are going to be challenges for you to do in the community as well. For example, take a picture of your envelope and post it to the community so that way the community knows that you are in the Passport Savings Challenge. I'm also going to be giving you a passport application tip. Okay. That passport application tip is going to help you towards being successful in securing your passport because there are some things that people are inclined to do naturally that you will not be able to do with your passport application. Okay. I'm going to say that again. There are things that people are inclined to do naturally that you cannot do with your passport application. So, in the Passport Savings Challenge, each week is going to give you a tip on what you need to do or avoid doing so that your passport application is not void, so that your passport application is not delayed, so that anything, so there is no excuse, and I mean zero excuses, as to why you cannot secure your passport. Unless life happens. And I get that. Life happens to the best of us. And this is what this challenge is for. This challenge is to kind of counteract the fact that life is happening. This challenge is designed to help you with a small goal. The small goal is $20 a week, where you are able to put that back, whether you are putting it back in a shoebox or you are putting it into a savings account, whichever way you decide to do it. Okay. This challenge is designed to help you with just $20 a week towards getting your passport. And if you start now, okay, the first emails will go out Monday. I'm sorry, no. Once you get in, you'll get your initial email and then you'll get your how are you going to save email. But your first weekly challenge will go out on Monday. And if you start this as soon as you can have your passport before officially the end of the summer. Okay. Now, application times may vary, but you'll hear from me personally if there is an uptick in passport application times. Right now, passport processing times are standard 6 weeks. Okay. 6 weeks. So you can have your passport, you can have the funds for your passport by Labor Day if you get started ASAP and have your passport before the end of the year if you take on this challenge. I have posted the QR code in top left hand corner here. There's a QR code that you can scan, and it's going to take you to the Passport Savings Challenge sign up page where you can sign up for your challenge today. I am also going to put that URL in the comments of this live. Okay. So that way you are able to, let's see if it'll let me. Oh, it's loading. There we go. I'm going to just dropped the link. If you are not able to see the QR code, I have dropped the link to this so that way you are able to you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, Auntie. So if you are looking to apply for your initial passport or your renewal passport and you're having a little bit of a hard time because life happens, and I understand, please don't take this the wrong way. I completely get it. Bills will always come first. I know. But this is a way to help you with that challenge so that way you can put those funds back. And by the end of this year, you can have your passport book in hand. Okay. Now, this passport challenge is designed for you to secure your passport book. Your passport card, it is okay, but it's not going to be able to get you to fly from one place to another. So you will definitely need that passport book. And that's what we save for. We're not saving for the card. The card is great, but it's great more for identification purposes than for you to actually fly. And I'd rather not, make you spend or save that money if you don't need to. And this passport savings challenge, if you do it right and if you do it properly, you will have change at the end of the challenge because the passport is only 165. Okay. 165 is the passport book plus your photo. So give or take another $10. So 175. I'm asking that you save $200 because it's a nice even number. So you'll have funds left over. If you want to save for that passport card, you can. I just don't recommend it for simplicity reasons. I'm just gonna say get the card. Get the book. Excuse me. So all of that to say, if you are planning to cruise with Princess Cruises and you plan on taking their Southern Caribbean itinerary, which will leave out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, you are going to be required real soon to have your passport, and you're going to follow every other passport rule. You must have a valid passport. You must have pages. You must have at least 6 months after you get off the ship. And it must still be valid for 6 months after you get off the ship. So if you are interested in signing up for the Passport Savings Challenge, I highly suggest that you do. The information has been dropped in the comments. If you are watching this on my personal page, I will add this as soon as I hop off this live. But if you are able to scan the QR code, that is right there. There we go. Right there. Okay. QR code is going to be to the top left-hand corner. You can scan that QR code, and it's going to take you straight to the website where you are able to sign up. Okay. If there are any questions that you have and you want to reach out, you can always reach out to me. You can email me info@travelwithmj.net. Or you can send me a message via Facebook at Travel with MJ. Or you can reach us at our contact us page, which is going to be www.travelwithmj.net/contact us. Okay. If not, you can just go straight to the website and you can take care of all that in one place. So that's all that I have for you. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody who needs their passport sign up for the challenge. And let's start saving towards that passport. And I will see you all in my very next live video. Bye.